Good evening. So I am excited. Okay. Skin is kissed, melanin is popping. I've been in the sun for 5 days, came back to the cold, but it is all right. I am literally like living on top, like from this trip. It was amazing. So I'm excited to bring this recap to you guys. I'm so excited to bring on Brittany and Day here in a moment, and then Brianne I know will be joining as well to give his insight also, and perfectly my kids act right in the midst of it. So anyways, y'all, Punta Cana. So those of you guys who don't know, those of you guys watching the replay, we went to Punta Cana. We earned the incentive trip from the company to Punta Cana, all exclusives paid. You just had to get there. That was it. I mean, we literally paid for nothing, not even transportation. Okay. Like we did not pay for a single thing. It works covered everything. I mean, super spoiled, top of the line. And this was a resort that they didn't have any, like, sometimes it'd be like restaurants that ain't covered or whatever. I mean, literally everything, including hibachi. Okay, we enjoyed that. It was great. It was so great. And so we're going to kind of walk you through. There's some specific things that I was able to pull out of Brittany and Day in the midst of this. And I know they are still processing. If you guys do have questions, make sure you click my name and send them privately. And if we have time, we will get to it. I do want to say congratulations to each and every one of you guys who may have earned it, but decided not to pay that extra money to go. So congratulations to you. It's still in some way, shape, or form. You did earn the right to be there. Because I mean, we don't know who at Punta Cana earned the whole right to go or not. We just know that they were there. So I still want to acknowledge you guys and tell you guys congratulations. Next time, earn that boy 100% because it was not okay. It was cool. It was really cool. This was a very bonding experience for me and the girls, as well as my husband being in the mix, and of course, sis who might be tired like I am, but she get to sleep. So shout out to sis being able to sleep like this. Cause let me tell you what, she lived her best life. Okay. Like best life, best life. I want to be like Zoe when I grow up. So I'm going to bring up congratulations to Brittany and Day who went on this trip with me. I'm going to bring them up. I have some specific questions for them. I guess for the replay or if even for people who are on here who may be new, just a little glimpse of your story. I'm Rachel Wiggum, your ambassador diamond. I'm gonna give you my 30-second spiel. I started this business as a single mom, you guys. I was a single mom with a master's degree, unable to pay my bills. That was it. Single mom, master's degree, unable to pay my bills. I started because my son was in private school. I wanted to keep him there. And I don't know. I had a master's level position and I just didn't make enough money. And so I said yes to keep my son in private school. He was already in private school. Just a little turnaround. He's 16 and he graduates this year in May. So this school year. So does it work? Yes. I've been here since 2013. Is it still working? Yes. It's changed my whole life. But I literally started because I needed enough money to keep my son in private school, and it became so much more. So whoever wants to jump in.
Okay, I'll go. So my name is Brittany. I've been with It Works for the last 8.5 years. Literally started because I wanted something different. I didn't want to keep working 2 jobs or multiple jobs, thinking that or feeling like that's what I had to do in order to one, pay my bills, but also be able to enjoy life. And so I saw my friends doing this business, and I trusted them. Like they had a lot more credentials than I did at that time, and so I was like, well, shoot, and a lot more responsibilities. So I was like, well, if they can invest or feel like it's worth investing, then I can too. Like, why not me? But I really didn't know what I was doing. I just was trying to do something. And so once I got in, I quickly realized how much of a blessing this was and how much I could actually fulfill a lot of things that I desired for a lot of less debt, because I planned to go to dental school, go to be an orthodontist and all of that, but I didn't have to do that in order. The reason why I wanted to do that is because I really just wanted a prestigious title. I wanted to make a whole bunch of money, and I wanted to be able to control my schedule. Once I found out that I could do that here, I was like, oh, okay, well, let me just go ahead and figure this out. And so I stuck it out. It took a while for me to really make the shift from employee to entrepreneur, but I stuck it out. I decided to figure out what it was in me that needed to evolve, change, grow in order for this opportunity to work. And I'm glad I did, because now I am a double diamond going ambassador. And it has changed everything that I know about myself, about living, and about God, Jesus, relationship, friendship, all of that. And so I'm just excited to be here and to be going forward.
Hey y'all, I'm Day. I'm 24. I actually relaunched my business this year. So I said yes again to the business because I really just wanted my freedom and time back. So I used to be an over-the-road truck driver, and that's when I found this business the second time. My enroller Frick actually asked me to join her for 8 months. I'm just about a product because I feel like I didn't have time to work this business. And actually, the reason why I stopped the first time is because I felt like I wasn't good enough, and mentally, like I was just depressed and felt like nobody was in my corner. So that's why I stopped the first time. Like I said, I came back because being a trucker, I was home 5 days out of the month, and I really had no reason to be home. Like I said, I don't have no kids, I'm single, but it was just something about missing time with my family and friends and not having the opportunity or the what's the word, the chance to say yes to something I wanted to do. I was kind of on their time versus mine. Anywho, so I came back because I wanted the money plus, like I said, the freedom of time, but it was a 4K bonus at the time, and that's what I almost made monthly trucking. So I was like, why not? I guess I'll say yes. So I said yes, and I actually been full time for 5 months now. Ended up going full time just because my grandma passed, and the company I was with, I experienced firsthand how corporate America does not care about a person. Like I hear that, but like experience, it really did something to me. It made me want to just step out on faith and trust myself, honestly. So here I am, and honestly, like I feel like this has all been like a dream, honestly, because I've made more money since I've been here these 6 months. How long have I been here? 7 months? I can count. 7 months than when I first was in the business. And my confidence, I really just honestly feel like I'm an overall better person. Like the little one time me and Rachel yesterday talking, like I just really feel like I'm overall better confidence, like my relation with God, like my prayer life, my friendships, like everything has just completely 360 just to see where I was a year ago today versus where I am now. Just really showed you how your life can change real quick. So that's it.
All right, so we're gonna bring up Brianne to share his 60-second glimpse of his story. Brianne, Mr. Wiggum. He's driving, so you don't have to turn on your camera, but you can just unmute.
Hold on. All right, I'm here.
Go ahead and share your story with us. Just a 60-second rundown.
From my experience I just got on, Rachel. I didn't hear anything
Share
from
a
the beginning.
60-second glimpse of your story, just your story. Introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just got on my bed. Sorry, y'all, being tardy. I just left a basketball meeting. So what's up, y'all? Good evening. I'm Brianne. I've been with It Works for 9 years now. Started as a loyal customer at first. I didn't really understand this whole thing until I went to conference. So, like I always say, events are important. That's what helped change your mind. And see that this really is a big deal. And just understanding that I can be a change to people and be the light. I guess that's the biggest thing I learned, when I went to conference outside just being a regular customer. Rachel and I do this business together. We have learned that as a unit, doing it together, we can be powerful. Keep believing and understanding that the best is always yet to come. And looking beyond whatever may be in front of us that we think is an obstacle, to understand that with God and faith, hard work, that we can accomplish anything.
Did you go out? Or you, hello?
Y'all can hear me? I'm like driving in the woods. You can't hear me
Oh,
right?
keep going. Was you done? Hello?
You can't hear me, sweetie?
I mean, did you say something? I can hear that.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, okay. Listen. Okay. So my husband is a basketball coach, as you guys can see. He retired from his job in 2015 and decided to pursue this business full time with me after our business blew up. So that's what's up. All right. So let's talk about earning the Punta Cana trip. So Brittany and Day, walk me through when it was released at conference and you making a decision or not, because I want you to be honest, like, especially Day, because I know we talked about this, like earning it, saying I'm gonna earn it, and then actually walking towards it and then actually earning it and what that process looked like. Don't go super in detail because you know we got a lot of other points to cover.
Okay, I'll go. So, what's so crazy is we had did dream boards in October or November of last year. And so I've been here over 8.5 years and I had never earned an incentive trip. And so I put it on my dream board. For one, back then, like I was planning, like I wasn't really in a position to earn it. But and then once I had, started to blow up and really started to be consistent in the business, COVID hit. And so we didn't have any. So I couldn't even earn one. So I was just like, I'm putting on my dream board because I'm earning the next one. Didn't even know they was about to announce it. So when they announced it at conference, I knew it was mine. I said, I'm going. Like, I'm going. And I believe that I was going from the day I said it. From the day I said it, I made up in my mind I was going. And so just going through earning it, it was just like, what's the next step? That was always my thing. Okay, I was like, I got to do 6 cycles because I got graced one from buying my ticket. So I was like, okay, I got to do 6 full cycles. What's the full cycle? My foreigner friend, their foreigner friend. And then I broke it down. I was like, okay, that's 6 cycles. That's 2 success bonuses. That's 8K. Like I put it in my brain in a way that I could wrap my brain around it. But I looked at it and what's the next step? Because if I look at the big picture, it could be daunting. And that's just with anything. I might walk in my office one day and say, oh, I'm gonna clean my office today. And I walk in there and it's crazy. And I walk right out like, oh, today is not the day. So I had to look at the next step, foreign a friend and helping my friend do foreign a friend. And so every day I assessed what's my next step in order to complete my cycle, in order to complete the 6, in order to earn the trip. And so that was really what it was. I made up in my mind that I was doing it. And I just, it's so funny because I told Rachel one day, I said, I just be praying to God and tell him what I need. And he just sent it like, and not like while I imagine, because of course I worked, but I literally just told him what I needed and he provided. And so I just kept going. I was like, okay. And I would make negotiations. I'd be like, all right, God, I know this is you. If I get, so like say I'm working on the cycle and I got a couple days, I'm like, all right, I get these 4 loyals. I already know it's curtains, or I get this distributor. Okay, I already know that I got the 4 loyals coming. And so I just had a conversation with God every step of the way and just kept that goal in the forefront and just knew, like I believed from the day they dropped it. And I just kept believing no matter what was in front of me, no matter what I saw, no matter how many days on the tracker it said, like I knew that I was going to complete those cycles to get the trip.
My story is completely different from Brittany's. I had no faith that I could do it at all. Like y'all know how people be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I was that person. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it. Like, oh, that'll be nice. That'll be nice for me if I'm being real. Like, I was saying, oh, I'm gonna go on a trip because like Liddy was telling me, oh, this 4K bonus is a trip, something else out. And I was like, okay, yeah. Like, I'm gonna get it. But like, I was just saying it because it would be nice. But like, anyways, so I actually needed 7 cycles since I came in March of this year and I didn't go to conference or something that y'all had. I didn't have a grace period, so I had to do 7 cycles. Honestly, for me though, it was really like I needed the money. I'm not gonna cap. Like I needed the money. Like I said, I make a 4K trucking. I needed 4K to keep like to make this, whatever. So, what was I saying? So when I actually started doing this full time, it was in May, right after my grandma passed, and I only did 1.5 cycles at that point. So I actually got my first success bonus at the end of May. And after that, it kind of was the belief, like I was boohooing crying, I was in Lydia because I didn't think I was gonna get that. So it really made it super surreal for me. I'm trying right now. But it made it like super surreal for me that I got that. So then after that, it was like, okay, I can do this. Cause like when she told me it was 4-1, I was like, that's Ruby. I'm like, that's it. Like you lying. So after I got the first one, like I said, it was kind of super surreal that I did it. And it was kind of like just running after that and like, okay, four and a friend. Let me, who can I help now? Let me go do this. Let me do that. And it was just really like looking at each step. And then after the Black Diamond Leadership Retreat, I think I needed one more cycle to go to Punta Cana for real. And I was like, oh, I can do this. Like, I think we had to August. So I was like, oh, after that, I really was like focusing on getting it, really wanted it. And I also wanted to take somebody with me. So I was really pushing for the 9 at that point, which I ended up getting the 9, I think at the end of August. So I think that was after the deadline though. But I was pushing to bring somebody with me after I actually did get it myself. So I didn't think I was gonna get it. I was just saying it was hashtag nice, but yeah.
Hashtag nice but needed.
Yes.
So for me personally, I had made a decision that this was Brianne and I's anniversary gift. So it was a free trip to Punta Cana. Why not? Right. So I was like, this is right around the time of our anniversary. We got 4 kids and a dog. All right. So why not let It Works fund us an all-inclusive trip to Punta Cana? And so that's what I had made up my mind. So I was really going for the 13. And I know I had just had a baby. Like I know it. Zoe was only, what is that? October, November. She was 3 months postpartum when I heard, 3 months old. I was 3 months postpartum. Jesus. She was 3 months old and I was adjusting. I was dealing with postpartum on a high level. Very open and honest about it. Like my normal was different. My body was aching in every space that it could ache. It was hard getting back into my routine, but I just was like, I'm doing it. Like you couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to Punta Cana. And so I had that tracker out every single day. And literally kind of like Brittany said, some days, and to this day, as I'm closing out cycles, it's the last day. You have to run through the finish line. There are sometimes on the last day, at the last hour, I closed the cycle, but it was my belief that I was going to do it in my working as if it was already done. You know what I'm saying? And so putting myself in a position to where I could win because my belief and my words said that I could win. And I was speaking that over me. So I ended up doing 11 out of the maybe 12. 11 or 12 out of the 13. So I earned my husband to come along and one of the air fares. And God knows I wanted them both and I needed them both, but God made a way nonetheless. Okay. So that's exciting. So let's talk about getting there and that experience, because there were a lot of people who earned Punta Cana that did not go. So let's talk about the faith to say that we were going and that we were going to get there. Anything y'all want to share about that?
What's so funny is, look, so they put out a survey or whatever for us to or I don't know what it was, like basically a questionnaire or something to ensure that we was going. And so we had been looking up them flights, and then in the survey was this disclaimer that said, if you fill this out and say you coming and you don't come, you got to pay $500. So I text Day, I said, Day, you filled out your thing yet? She like, I saw that disclaimer. I've been looking at these flights. And so she was like, I don't know. I was like, but you know what? I'm like, God is not going to have me earn this trip, this incentive trip, and not provide a way for me to go. So I just filled it out in faith that he wasn't going to have me drain my bank account to get there, because I earned it for free. And if I'm going to pay that much to get there, then I might as well just should have paid for the trip. And so I just filled it out in faith. And then I knew that I was connected to Rachel and they was going to get favoring. So it was just going, go on down on me too. So that was another faith walk.
Listen, let's talk about this, because I knew God was going to do it for me. Okay. Like I knew it. I just knew it. Even when I didn't know it, I knew it. Okay. So I just filled it out and I was like Brittany said, he wanted me to earn this trip. He wants me to go on this trip. He faithed me to complete it, to actually be able to go. So we even got babysitters, praise the Lord. So that means he's gonna make this ticket work for me, because I'm not buying, y'all, some people pay like $2,000 per person per ticket. And I was like, it's a no for me. It's a no for me. Like, I'm not spending that. I'm not even finna flirt with that idea. And when I tell y'all God came through, he came through. The amount of money that we spent on our tickets was ridiculous compared to other people. And then on top of that, they said she had to find her passport. How about Zoe didn't have a passport 3 weeks before we were supposed to go? And God even just made a way with that. And so, yes, that was for me. I just believed that. I said, I haven't filled out this doggone thing. I ain't paying. It works no $1,000. So, guys, you got to come through. Okay, we're gonna spend $1,000. It's gonna be on plane tickets, not on paying It Works. All right.
Oops, my bad. It's my turn. This why your circle matter though, y'all. Because Brittany and Rachel told me they had faith the guy was gonna get them there. I literally saw them ticket prices and I was like, okay, that just means I need another success bonus so I can afford to go. That was my mindset. I'm like, look, all right, because I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna get enough. I should have had faith. But look, that's why your circle matters. Because look,
I feel that though, because you can create the income, but I wasn't paying that. So they was like, I'm paying it.
I'm gonna get there somehow.
I love it. All right, so let's hold on. Let's see what Brianne thought, because I love to hear his 2 cents. What did you think, Brianne?
Well, I thought originally, I always knew like we was gonna go, but those ticket prices were kind of crazy. And so I was like, man, I don't know, and then Rachel had found like, ways for us to fly. So it's always, when you're thinking about like, how you can figure it out, it's always a way. And so I was like, well, since we got this way to go where we fly to Florida, and then with Zoe passport is one of the things where it's like, we got this far, it'll get here in time. So I never was really, too concerned. The ticket prices were ridiculous though. So hopefully like with the next trip, they give enough time to where you can get your ticket, in advance versus, when the contest ends, then you got to get a plane ticket. So that's about it.
Thank you. So expectation versus reality. So I want to know what you guys expected Punta Cana to be like versus, because this was both of you all's first incentive trip. And then this is actually Day's first time on a resort out of the country. So what was your expectation of what the event would be like versus what it was really like? Don't go into super details, because I know we're going to talk about other stuff, but what was your expectation versus your reality?
Honestly, I really didn't have any expectations. Honestly, like I really didn't know what to expect, because it was like, oh, it's Punta Cana. I mean, what pictures, the internet be lying sometimes, but you're like, it looked pretty there. So it's like, I'm gonna see if we get the pretty side or what we getting. So I really had no expectations, but honestly, I was so blown away. Like when I say it was absolutely gorgeous, like it looked like the pictures, y'all. It looked like the pictures. So yes.
I agree with Day. Like, I really didn't know what to expect. Like, I knew it was going to be fun. I knew, it was going to be exciting. It was going to be It Works, but I didn't really know what. It was my first incentive trip. I was just excited to get there. And so when I got there and it was like super fancy, first off, me and Day, we thought we had been talking the whole time, like we better be each other's roommates. Like we better not have no randoms. And then when we got there, we had our own room. Like we didn't even expect to have our own room. So that even blew my expectations already from what I had thought prior, coming into versus being there. But it was just set up so super fancy. We walked in, we was greeted with champagne. They had like a little setup with us, gave us a bag and a towel. Like it was super fancy. Like I really didn't know what to expect, but once I got there, like I was super blown away and just really excited and just so grateful to be there.
Herman, the people was so doggone friendly. Like to me, I love Jamaica. I don't know if you guys ever been to Jamaica, but the people in Punta Cana were different. They were so kind. They were very kind. Brianne, what about you?
Well, I knew when I was thinking about the whole trip that that it was going to be beautiful. I know it works. You know, they do things, you know, high level. So I knew it was going to be beautiful. The results going to be nice. But if I'm honest with you, I was concerned about the food. So, you know, when I go places, I'm always concerned about, you know, how the food is going to be, you know. And when you're at a resort, there's so much food, you know, you figure out what you, you know, what you like. So for the most part, you know, it was beautiful. I wasn't really, I wasn't expecting much, just to see, you know, how they plan to pamper us and, you know, and show us a good time
It was so nice. Like it
and the
was.
relaxation.
Oh. Sorry, you must have cut out. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Okay, so it was nice. It was really nice. I don't know what I expected. I kind of had an idea that I was going to see a lot of people that I had never seen before, but this kind of goes into the next thing. Like our company has turned over in so many different ways, and so I don't know what I was expecting, but I just knew that it would be different. I mean, we have a totally new corporate team, so I knew it would be different. I just didn't know what different would be like. So let's talk about what you learned about It Works while you were there. So for you guys, what is it that you learned about It Works while being there? Let's actually go backwards. Let's start with Brianne and go around Day and then Brittany.
Okay, well, I learned about It Works. So I guess like Rachel was saying, with all the changes that was going on outside of conference last year, we didn't really get to hear much from Doug, Adrian, and Meredith. You know, we just heard like a little, you know, just introducing who they were. So just really seeing like who Mark, you know, is trusting to lead the way in terms of like, you know, the future of the company and how things are going to go. Just seeing their excitement is just, you know, it's still like Mark and them are still there because they still have that same energy. And so, and then even just hearing from Mark, you know, a lot of times, you know, we always say, well, I wonder what Mark's doing now. Mark still got that same energy where, you know, this still is his baby. This still is something that he cares about. So he still wants to give us money, get us to get paid. And so I guess that's what I learned. I learned that we're still in a good place, despite what may be going on in the world or with other companies. You know, It Works is still trying to be at the top of everything. So I guess that was the biggest thing that I learned, you know, just hearing from them, knowing that their vision is still growing and that we have exciting things coming just from the little stuff that we learned and the nuggets they shared with us. So that's what I would say.
I would have to say that It Works is different and they got money. Like It Works got money, okay. But seriously, like just different in the sense of like how they're always looking like one step ahead. Well, not one step ahead, like they always ahead of the game, like wanting us to be super innovative. Like they're different in the sense like Mark said, when people go this way, we go the other way. Like just learning how humble they are, like kind like I met Mark, y'all. I'm telling y'all, like I met Mark, took a picture with him. Like I feel like he met me because he came off the stage and my back was turned and he was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Don't touch me." So I really feel like he met me in a sense versus me meeting him. But like, I just feel like it was so crazy. Like I never met the CEO of my jobs before. Like, are you like? Anyways, we ain't talking about that. But that was just crazy to me, just to meet him and just to like actually tell him thank you and like see that I feel like he's very humble. Like to see that, like they just awesome. Like it was.
So for me, what I learned, or what I was reminded that they're still them, like It Works is still It Works. But they are doing so many things to ensure that we are supported in so many ways in the field. Like they really want us to be successful and they're trying everything that they can in order to support us in every way that they can. Even when it comes international, they have a new international team to help us in the field and really, you know, create foundations internationally. And it's just like they are so they have us in mind, like they really do. The vision is continuously growing and getting bigger. We're still shooting for beyond $1 billion, and so Mark is just in a place of you know, how can things be better? You know, we sometimes get in the place where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it ain't broke, don't mean it can't be better. And so that's where Mark is. It's like, how can we even be better and go to a higher level? And how can we support you guys more? And so he's just creating that team so that we can really be supported and, you know, elevate as a whole company.
So good. And then I know I personally, well, I don't know that I'll start with what I loved and then what I learned. I love it when Mark marks, okay, like it reminds me of my bishop when my pastor ain't around and Cindy wasn't around, so Mark was, you know, his chest was a little puffed up because Cindy wasn't there to tap him on the shoulder. So let's be clear, I learned that it worked, that Mark owns 100% of the company. Let me rewind. I learned that Mark owns 100% of the company. I did not know that. I did not know he was the sole owner of It Works. I did not know that. I learned that. And he made it very clear, I own the company and I'll do what I want to do. Told her people, he negated the lies, and I didn't realize, because I'm not a person that listens to lies. So I wasn't aware, but he just made it very clear that we good. And the only reason that I'm doing what I'm doing is because I desire to take this company beyond $1 billion. And so I went out to get the professionals to bring us up to par. And yeah, we do okay, but it's time to take things to the next level. And I'm gonna say I really appreciate this, because he could have easily decided to divvy up the company and sell parts of it to try to take it to the next level. But Mark is like, if I have to put my own finances into this thing, because he's that rich, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's that good of a financial steward. He has money coming from other places. He's a good steward of his money. So he is pouring his finances into It Works to take the company beyond $1 billion. And then I also loved the new international team. Even though some of them people were like brand new, like we literally have people for every single market, which is amazing. So I have confidence more than I did before, so that when I do rebuild an international team, I know that they will be able to support me, right? So not just support my distributors that I'm signing in these different markets, but support me on how to coach these people in these different markets. And so it was really good to have conversations, like legit poolside, with these people that are in these different markets, telling me how I can expand my market into these different places. And so that was so good. That was something that I learned. And they love It Works. They really do. They love the culture here. These are people with deep experience, but they love what we have here in this space. And there's a difference that you can kind of discern and feel when people are just saying that because it's their job. And it's like, who are y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you guys are pretty cool. And I think that was definitely the vibe that I got from speaking to each and every one of them that I was able to meet. So what did you learn about you? And I know this is loaded and we got a little time. So give the biggest things that are on your heart and your mind. And I did prep y'all, so y'all should be ready, but let the Holy Spirit lead you.
And Day, you want to go or you want me to go? Okay. So the biggest thing that I learned about me is that I am the only one who sleep on me. Like literally legit. Like I am the only one that sleep. It's so crazy because I have not been to an It Works event since I went double, and since I've been on like calls corporately and you know, on even Rachel's YouTube, because they talk about that too. And it was so crazy to know that they not only knew me, or that I was known, but that I was known to be inspiring and impactful. So that was super big. Like so many people were coming up to me and like, oh my God, you're Brittany, you're on Rachel's team. And like, they're like, oh, I know you. And like, it was one girl, she walked up to Rachel and was like, hey, Rachel. And she was like, and you too, Brittany. Hey, like, you know, and it was just so crazy. And then one girl was like, sometimes I can't even tell the difference between you or Rachel. Like, y'all have so much alike. And it was like, wow, what a compliment. And so just to realize like that legit, I am known out in these streets, like for real, and sought after. It's so crazy. And like, even people who didn't come up to me, like just having different conversations with people, by the end of it, they're like, oh my God, we got to connect. Like, I just love you already. Like, we just have to connect. And I'm just like, I'm just talking, like we just having a conversation. But it was just so, man, just so eye-opening, and just another love tap and another like confirmation from God, like how many times do I gotta tell you, girl, that I have equipped you for this, and I am positioning you to really be impactful and be a stake, you know, not even on in the squad, but just, you know, as a whole throughout the company. And I always think back to myself, you know, being on the other side of the computer before, you know, I, you know, rose up in the ranks, just really needing somebody that looked like me to be winning. And, you know, as just a confirmation that I can do it too. And now to realize that I'm her, hashtag it's me. It's me, sis. Like, it was just another confirmation of it all. And like, it just felt really good. Like, I was like, oh my God. But it was just really an eye opener. And like, it was so crazy. Me and Rachel, we had a conversation before, and I was telling her about, we all got pink swimsuits. So I was telling her, like, you know, I got my swimsuit, and I was like, it'll do. And she was like, you probably just hating on yourself. And when she said that, like, I had kept thinking about that, like the whole way there. And then for, you know, people to just be coming up to me and just telling me how much they love my story, how much they can relate to it, how much they love to hear me talking and things like that. It was just crazy. So I was like, man, Brittany, you gotta wake up. Like, you the only one that sleep out here, bro. Like, they really know you, and they really you know, feel like you have something to say. Like, you the only one who's shortchanging and minimizing your growth, your story, and everything. And so that stopped this weekend, guys. Like I said, I was leaving false humility alone, but for real, like, I'm really leaving that false humility in the dust.
I thought Brianne was going. I'm really trying to still think, honestly. I feel like, okay. Okay. Honestly, what did I learn about me? I feel like this is cliche in a sense. I feel like Rachel probably asked me a question in prep, but no. I learned a lot. I learned a lot, honestly, like especially like yesterday with me and Rachel talking on the bus on the way um to the airport. Like wait, like y'all, okay, this can I do a sidebar? Okay, sidebar. So Rachel actually sent me something last Wednesday, y'all, to watch. And I watched it today, Rachel. I watched it today. So it really goes to show you when, like, patience while you work. When Rachel said, did you do something? Get up and I told you to do. Anyways, I watched it today. And it was talking about how, well, it was captioned, I'm not ready yet. So honestly, I'm saying all that to say, like, I been in the business the first time. I really watched Rachel from afar and was like, she's a Black woman. She's so successful. She's this, she's that. And I always wanted to be mentored by her. And I said, if I ever came back to the company, I was going to join her team because I just love everything she's about. So it's kind of crazy that I literally full circle moment got to actually be 45 minutes, I'm going to say, on how long, like talk to her yesterday on the way. And I just really learned that, kind of like what Brittany was saying, in the sense, like, I'm the only one holding me back, and about me connecting with people and learning to see people and to get out my feelings, or even if I don't think I'm in my feelings, but to let some hurt go, or what I thought was hurt, but learning to love people where they are and learning to be okay with the situation, the season. Because honestly, like, I feel like we're not where we want to be, or at least me, where I want to be is because I'm holding myself back in, like, some of the things, like my feelings, or rather how I overthink a lot of things. But yeah, really just connecting more with people, which I did reach out to my team today, and it was good just to hear from people and for them to say that they miss talking to me, or They thought about me too, or they this, that, and the fifth. So that was nice to hear that from them and to just really realize like I'm the only one standing in my way, and to just know that I am it, like Brittany said, I am it. And being on the trip really made me realize that kind of like after the after the leadership retreat, just being in the room with other one percenters and realizing that I deserve to be here, and talking to some people at Punta Cana when they're like, oh my gosh, you're just a Ruby. Oh my gosh, you've been here so long. Just realizing that I do deserve to be in this room and that I am part of 1%, and to do what one percenters do. So like I said, your circle matters. So that's all I gotta say. I believe. Unless Rachel asked me something else.
No, that was good. That was perfect. Zoe was telling you what she learned. Okay, so I gotta tell you guys. So what I learned a lot, but one thing I learned about myself, I had a conversation, squeezing my boobs, yes. I had a conversation with the I don't even know what his title is, but he's over Canada. And during the conversation, I had just asked this girl her story, and then he came over to talk to me, and I said that, oh, yep. So I said that, I retired my husband in 2015, and, we've been a full-time family ever since. And she was looking like, really? And he said, how often do you tell that part of your story? And I said, I don't know. He said, I was like, I don't know, like there's so many parts to my story. I've been here for 9 years that sometimes I struggle with what part of my story to tell. He said, you assume too much, that people are tired of hearing your story, and that everybody knows your story because you've been here so long, and you're almost like watering down your experience. And I was like, okay. So just a reminder for me that my story is powerful, and the journey that Brianne and I have been on, people need to hear about it. I need to speak more about God's goodness. And he even went on to say, I can tell you, your team probably doesn't tell their story as much. And so I learned so much about telling your story that I'm excited to share with you guys. Like so many things. So then after the conversation with him, we actually all went over to sit with other leadership like Ashley Mayfield, and we were in the pool just talking, and Ashley Mayfield brought forth some different insights on telling your story as well after he began to speak. And so something as simple as drop a me in the comments if you've ever said, I don't have a story. Drop a me in the comments if you've ever said that. So he was saying how when a new distributor starts, the first thing that you're supposed to do is help them make back that help them make their tier 1, period. Help them make their tier 1. That is the first goal. Why? Because tier 1 means that you made your investment back, and this is now your story. My story is I joined the business a month ago, and I already made my investment back. From an ear that knows nothing about it works. Not a tier 1 bonus. They don't know what that means. Not even $150 bonus. I made my investment back. They have no idea how much your investment is, right? No idea. But how big is that to invest in a business and already make your investment back? It's kind of unheard of. And so it's a great way to tell your story, because now people are like, oh my God, let me join that, because if I make my investment back, that's at least worth it, right? So that was big for me when I first started the company. So something as simple as that. And then Ashley Mayfield took it to the next level. How many of you guys, drop a me in the comments if you've ever paid off a credit card on here? How many of you guys have ever, drop a me in the comments if you've ever paid off a credit card? We've paid off a few of them things, right? So she said, when you pay off a credit card, you don't tell people how much it is. You literally just say, I paid off a credit card, because your credit card may have been $200. But for a prospect that is watching, they may have a $7,000 credit card. And the mere thought that you said you paid off a credit card pulls at their heartstrings to let them know that it's a possibility that they can pay off their credit card too. You don't speak numbers. You just speak about what you let them create, because everybody has their own context. And so it was something that just completely blew my mind. It helped me understand the power of my story. I haven't talked about paying off credit cards in so long. I even think about Annie, who paid off a student loan. We don't need to know how much, and we minimize what we do. So somebody may have paid off a credit card that was $50. Boo, you paid off a credit card. You know what I'm saying? Like that is something that other people do not do or don't even have the opportunity or the extra funds to do. But for somebody who's out here like, oh, government, give me the 20K. If Annie says, I use my business to pay off a student loan, just that mere her saying that is like, oh my God, like, yes, the government is wiping 20K, but maybe I can join Annie and pay off have the opportunity to pay off the rest of my student loans as well. Because if God did it for her, he can do it for me. And so that was something that I learned about myself is that, I mean, kind of along the lines of what Brittany said, I'm sleeping on the story that I've created along the lines, minimizing what God has done for me. And sometimes I do skip through it because I feel like I brag on myself so much because God has done so much, but that stopped the other day. Won't he do it? What about you, Brianne? Did you learn anything about yourself?
I got a question, Rachel. Why can't I unmute myself?
Oh, because I didn't make you a co-host. I'll do it right now. Sorry.
And then second, y'all, Rachel didn't prep me for this call. Like she said, she prepped us. She didn't prep me. And I guess she learned that, it's best for her just to, just say, Brianne, you're gonna be on this, call. So I mean, I wasn't prepped, but anyway, I guess what I learned about myself, and I guess, man, if y'all don't know me, I'm very to myself. And when I see people I speaking in, Day and Brittany probably saw it the first day. I'm just speaking. I'm to myself. So it's not really a thing to where, I really want to, talk unless, like I said, I'm put on the spot or you come on and talk to me one-on-one. And so what I learned about myself was that, and I guess you could apply it to, I'm a male, but women, you as well. If you're a person to yourself, you never know the person that may need you. And so it was a situation to where I was speaking to, I can't remember the girl name, but it was her and her husband. I'm just, I'm doing my normal, hey to him. And she put me to the side, hey, can you give my husband some encouragement? Talk to him for a minute. And Rachel, Day and Brittany, they left me. And we talked for a while, and it was one of the things to where, I forgot the impact of a male person that the other males can look at in this business. And just at that moment, I realized that, at times, even though I am to myself, that I can't help somebody spouse, boyfriend in a situation where they can look at this business different, have a better outlook on how they can be a help. And also, I learned too that in moments of me not wanting to always communicate with, talk much or, be short with people, that I can just be a sponge. For example, if you don't want to like really talk much and you put in a situation that's weird. So Adrian, the first night, Adrian was eating and her and her friend, I spoke and just kept it moving. And 2 days later, we was at the beach barbecue place, and Adrian went to hold Zoe, and of course her friend was there. And so in a situation, granted, it was cool to meet him and whatnot, but in that moment, I didn't have to really say much. I was just more so getting the wisdom from him. And so I realized that even though the situation may be uncomfortable, I can still learn from certain situations. And then in moments where I know I'm an asset and can be a help, that I can still be a help to people. So I just want y'all to take that in. COVID, got me really back in my shell because I had to avoid people. So I learned, that I'm still an asset. I still have value, and that in uncomfortable moments, I can sit and learn and draw wisdom from people. So that's what I would say.
That's so good. That was good. I hope you enjoyed that barbecue because we missed it.
Well, it was a grill out there.
It was a grill. He right. It was barbecue, kinda. It was DR barbecue. All right, you're right. That is true. All right. So I'm gonna we only have 9 minutes left, and I just feel like I want you to tie these together. And then we'll let Brianne go, and then I'll go last. I want you guys to actually speak on, but we don't want to go on the training, so don't go too long. Both Day and Brittany had the opportunity to experience their Sabbath. And y'all know they was with the Sabbath queen. All right. They got to experience their Sabbath while on this vacation. And so I want you guys to speak on that and then tell me your favorite moment. And then Brianne will speak and then I'll close it out.
Okay, so I'll go real quick. So, first off, yes, I got to spend my Sabbath and it was so amazing. But sidebar, when you are a person who is like high performance or like really an executor, you be wanting to be in the mix. So I saw them over in the pool and I really wanted to go to the pool and be in the mix. But I decided to sit back and enjoy my Sabbath. But enjoying my Sabbath on a beach, man, it was amazing. So I got up. So this is my favorite part too. The fact that I got to enjoy my Sabbath on the beach, like with no distractions, like that was something that I haven't been able to do. Because even, when you're at home, like there's still some type of distraction, no matter how hard you try to eliminate them, unless you literally go and like get a room or something, or like go away, like there's going to be some type of distraction. And so the fact that I was able to wake up, y'all, and go get a full body massage, okay, on the beach, water waves, and just like, waving, like I was like, man, that was my favorite part. And then I took a nap on the beach. It was so relaxing. I journaled, I read my Bible on the beach, like got to chill out in the pool, just really got to decompress for real. And I left my phone in the room. And it was the white party night too. So, I was just like, you know what? Y'all upload y'all pictures to the Punta Cana album so I can just have content, because sometimes you're like, oh, because I could have thought, like, I did kind of go back and forth with it. I'm like, okay, well, we are, going into the white party, like the latter part of my Sabbath, I could spend the majority of the day relaxing and then, have my phone to at least take pictures. But I was like, you know what? No. Day and Rachel will take enough pictures for me. I can just leave my phone and like really just put it down. And so it was really refreshing. I was really rested. It is a difference, like it's levels to it. And so I really got to experience true rest. And so that was really my favorite part. So go ahead, Day.
So for me, I slept in a little bit, but then we had breakfast. Y'all were so spoiled. This is sidebar, sorry. So, like she said, we were spoiled there. But when we came back to America, we were at Chili's. I was like, what I'm finna get? I was like, wait, I gotta pay for it. We gonna think about it. All right. Anyways, so got up, we went to breakfast, and then we went to the pool. And like what Brittany said, I was trying to be in the mix too on my off day. And Rachel was like, excuse me, ma'am, ain't you off today? How about, she didn't say it like that, but she was like, ain't you off today? So she's like, how about you put your phone away? So actually I'm not afraid of water. I actually like water, but like I actually got in the pool. I was asking them how deep it was because like I can't swim for real. So I was like, how deep is the water? Like, because they was doing water aerobics. So y'all know I like to work out. But like it looked fun, but I was like, I don't know. I want to go over there. So I did water aerobics on my Sabbath. It was really fun. Just being in the water and just like, being in the vibe. Actually put my phone in my room, took a nap on the beach as well, listened to the waves. It was very peaceful and relaxing. Then y'all know me, I'll be watching football. So I watched the latter half of the football game before we went to dinner that night. But it was nice to put my phone away for some time and just actually like be with myself in a sense of like just me. So that was nice to just put that away and just relax and have fun more than I would have been instead of like trying to really get content, but like just being in the moment. Let me say that, being in the moment. So that was good.
What was your favorite moment of the trip?
My favorite moment of the trip, just one. It was my man, y'all. I'm just playing. Let me stop. Let me stop. I'm sorry. My favorite, it was me and Mark. That was probably
She talking real tough and was not being tough. Like I'm confused. I'm just playing. Petty Rachel.
Shady boots. But no, it was probably definitely meeting Mark or Lanissa actually like announced my name at like the what do you call it, our training, like recognizing me. Y'all funny. Recognizing me for earning the trip and being Ruby. So that was a good moment, just being recognized for what I had accomplished.
Go ahead, Brianne.
So I think my favorite moment, well, I'm gonna just add a couple moments if y'all don't mind. But I'll be quick. But I think for me, it was seeing Brittany and Day get recognized. And it could be any of y'all. I mean, y'all work hard. You know, I would like y'all work hard. And I think, you know, any moment where you can be recognized, like you said, you don't expect it, but it's like, man, like y'all work hard. Like I'm talking to everybody on the call, but just to hear Brittany and Day, you know, and they names being called and them understanding that, you know, that they are, you know, being seen and stuff like that was probably one of my favorite moments. And then the second was probably hibachi. Brittany reminded us that that's like a tradition. So, you know, we used to like go to hibachi as a team, like at Green Carpet and stuff like that. And we was able to have that moment in terms of you know, it was just us four, but it was still us having that moment of a tradition of having hibachi together as a team. And then of course, just moments with Rachel and I, you know, just us being celebrating, you know, our not honeymoon, anniversary. You kept talking about we're gonna get married on a resort, but you know, our anniversary. I thought that was one of my favorite moments as well. And then what I want you all to know, and I guess this is like, you know, I'm getting into basketball season, you know, from being, you know, at this meeting I just left, and I just want y'all to know like, that y'all deserve anything that comes out. You know, I want y'all to have it in y'all mind. Y'all deserve anything that comes out. Y'all got to believe it because, and you know, and just to be honest, like y'all can show up, you know, like my players, they can show up to practice and just show up just to show up. But the ones that put the work in, you see the result. So if I'm saying, Brian's saying, well, I deserve X, Y, and Z, what am I not doing to get it? I want y'all to like have it in y'all mind, like, yeah, I'm showing up, but what am I not doing enough to get it? And have that mindset when you all are going after y'all goals. You know, the best person to evaluate is yourself. And you know, like you know you as a person, you know what you put forth. But like when stuff come out, like the bonuses, the incentive trips, y'all deserve it. I'm just being honest. And I know and Brittany and Day's stories are totally different, but Brittany's story is so cool because for the longest she just was coming around, and I ain't saying she wasn't doing nothing. I don't know what she doing. She can tell you, but it wasn't nothing because she wasn't seeing nothing. I'm not discrediting what she was doing, but if I'm just being real, she probably said I wasn't doing nothing. But if you look at her now, she putting that work in, and so anything that comes out, she know how to tweak whatever she needs to do to deserve it. And so I just want y'all to have it in y'all mind. Like I tell my players, y'all just come to practice, man. But y'all say I want to play coach, but you ain't doing nothing but just going through the drill, but ain't getting no better. And I put you in the game, you know, to play. So I want y'all to keep that, like whatever. I always remember say we deserve it. Y'all deserve it. Rachel's like, bro, I don't think I deserve this. Yes, you do. You showed up, you deserve it. I mean, you deserve something. So have that mindset because I'm telling these people like, man, it's only three of us. And I always think it's cool that the team come to stuff, man, but y'all deserve it. Y'all show up to Zooms, y'all show up to Power Hours, y'all show up to in-person stuff. So you have to figure out what it is that you need to do. And you know, to make sure that you deserve whatever is laid out there for you, you know, and I'm always rooting for you because I never told Brittany, you know, don't come around and say, Brittany, it's gonna be okay. You know, it's gonna happen. You know, keep showing up, you know, and she had to just change some things to figure out how could she make it click. And they came in they was new, but they had life happen to her, you know, and it's real life. I know some of y'all have real life going on. And so just even battling through the real life to overcome, but you still deserve it. So that's why I just want to leave y'all with. I want y'all to know y'all deserve whatever come out, the next incentive trip that come out, whatever new product come out. Because I thought about we said this event and can I tell them that? I'm gonna tell y'all it don't matter. This ain't being recorded, is it? But just don't put this up. But just don't put it up. Just don't put it up. But Brittany and they got the new product. Yeah, they deserve it. That, you know, like they got the new product. So y'all deserve this stuff. And I'm dead serious. Y'all work hard. And so I just want to keep that in y'all mind. Each day y'all wake up, Brianne said, but we deserve it. Y'all deserve it. And that's all I want to say, Rich, I am outside. I just didn't want to open the garage, but
Won't he
thank
do
you.
it? Praise God. Thank you for your attendance on this evening
Can
in
I
particular.
piggyback off of what
Go
Brianne said?
ahead.
Just one little thing, because that's kind of like what I was gonna say. I was gonna say each and every one of you guys deserve it. And so a lot of times people say, oh, the only difference between us and them is we work harder. You can work all day long and not be executing. The thing is, we execute on a high level. So what is it that you need to do, listen to, read, whatever, to get you in a place, circle you need to be around to get you in a place to where you start executing? Because you can work all day long and not execute. But what are you really doing? Like, if you ain't executing, like, what are we really doing? Like Brianne said, like, I would come around all the time, but wasn't nothing happening because I was not executing. And so you can work all day long. It's not, oh, we work harder than you. We do, but we execute. And so how can you put yourself in a place of execution because you really, 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 truly deserve it? And I'm gonna tell y'all, they can join anybody, but you want them to join our team. I saw so many things going on where people need our team. They need this opportunity, but they need the money squad. So we want to fight to get people over here. That's my 2 cents.
It's the self-control for me. Like it was, yes. So good. Thank you guys so much. I am excited. My favorite moment was sleeping in the bed with my husband. Okay. Don't make me get up and turn on some shower music. I should make a TikTok with no other kid. Y'all don't understand, but it's all right. Zoe slept in her own bed. Okay. Whew, praise the Lord, everybody. Amen. Hallelujah. All right. I'm gonna pray, and that was it was one of my favorite moments, but it really was one of my favorite moments. Y'all just don't even know it been years. Okay, I'm praying. It was a great time, y'all. I got to experience this with my baby. Like people didn't even see me. Brittany was glad that people saw her, but people didn't even see me. All they saw was Zoe, and I did get my feelings once, and they was like, "Oh my God, she's so." I said, and I'm her mom. Like, hi. Do you see me? Do you see me? Ditch. Like, I was like, do this. Like, anyways, acknowledge me. Like, I had to see my feelings. Anyway, but it was great. It was a good time. I'm gonna pray. We're gonna switch over to our training. I'm just gonna pray, guys. Y'all have to be on this next trip with us in Cancun. There was somebody there who had 100 people on their team there with them. 100 people from their team there with them. Okay, so there are no limits. There are no limits. You can go. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can be there. You can be there. So let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father God, we just thank you. We thank you for this experience that we got to have. We thank you. We know it was all you. We know it was you that helped us do it. And so, God, we're thankful. We will keep these memories in our heart. And God, I'm just praying that the team continues to be able to eat off of our experience and grow because of our experience, as well as us continue to grow and just be grateful for what you've done on this squad and what you're continuing to do. God, I pray over every person on this call that's struggling with belief, that's struggling with executing. God, I'm just praying now that you give them the strength that they need to have the courage to step forward in the boldness, in the courage that you've given them, God, in the strength that you've given them, God, even in their weakness, God. We're thankful for how you're turning it around, God, and people are beginning to believe that it can work just for them and that they do deserve everything that it works throws our way. And so, God, we thank you in advance for this next incentive trip, having 50 to 100 people from the squad going, just the belief that they can make it there and then working and executing so that they can be there. So we thank you in advance. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.